Welcome to the winner bracket final. We're once again in the first North American qualifier, and now we got 30k going up against Diamond Hands. Both of them successful in their previous match, and now we have a best of 5 on our hands here. Legacy on the left playing Lucio for 30k. We got Cure on Maiev, Madara playing Chromie, Cattle on Murden, and Liam is playing Blaze. Whereas over on the right side of the map, we got Diamond Hands with Nintori on Dehaka, Mocha on Sylvanas. Every single time I read his name, every time I want a coffee. We got Hebi on Deckard, Boy on Tychus, and Caesar Salad is playing Joanna. Okay, let's go. So once again, this is the winner brackets final, best of 5 series, first qualifier for NA, and again the main event takes place in October, in the middle of October, the 14th to the 16th in Miami, and it's going to be awesome. $11,000 on the line, and we're going to have 3 teams from North America, 3 teams from Europe, and 2 teams from Korea on site to fight it out. And also the caster lineup has by now been completely revealed, and it's going to be Blast 2. I'm going to be commentating on site together with Trixler and also with Michael Udall. And Fan is going to join us for a game or 2 as well, so yeah, it's going to be really, really good. But on the NA side, of course, we're still looking to see which teams are going to make it. Again, if you're missing the draft, the reason why there is no draft included is that these games are commentated from replays. There's obviously quite the time difference from Europe to NA, and the same was also true for Korea. So these are all commentated after the fact. Unfortunately, Blizzard doesn't include any of that information in their replay data, which is, yeah, a little bit sad, but it is what it is. But we can at least bring the gameplay in, and already 30k trying to get a slight lead by claiming a few of those additional camps down here. Want a minimark past, and immediately it's a move for those Siege Giant camps. And look at Cure with Maiev. He's already darting in and trying to get some hits, but here comes the Aka looking for the lick and misses it. Dodged out, but Cure is still a little bit low, and he's dead. He's no Ultralisk, is he now? So Cure gone and Maiev dying. That's the first one to fall on the blue team side. 30k losing 1. But with Lucio, that they somehow were able to sneak in here. They are still speeding between the lanes and trying to also get Dehaka slowed down slightly so that Liam is just a bit more dangerous topside and can maybe do some structural damage here as well. Now, once again, keep in mind, if you want to have more information about the tournament, if you want to double check where the venue is exactly located because you're planning to visit, which you can, again, it is absolutely possible to watch all of these games on site, shake hands with the players, the casters, or whoever. So go to heroesinternational.net. All of the information is right there. And if you're watching this on YouTube right now, you're also more than welcome to simply scroll down into the video description. I'm going to include not only links to the website itself, where you can get all the information and the details, but also to the crowdfunding, because keep in mind, if you want to have more events like this in the future and you want to support this event, you can. Every single donation to the GoFundMe is going to be matched by our sponsors, who are also just Heroes of the Storm fans. So an event from the community, for the community, and yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be absolutely epic. A lot of the players have talked about it too and said they just can't believe that they're actually going to be at an offline event again and, you know, just like meet people that they haven't seen since the HGC days. So yeah, it's going to be great. But well, for now, what we have is a bit of pressure here by Diamond Hands. We're obviously in a situation where both of these teams want to move on to the grand final by taking this best of 5 series here. Gives you a much better position trying to make it and get the ticket to Miami right away. We have still the first shrine up, and teams have been working for level 7 so that they get the additional talent. But the position is slowly being taken by 30k as they're trying to get the first Punisher here. We're talking about one of the Arcane Punishers now. Diamond Hands with a little bit of a move. Cure again, attack, but Legacy on Lucio is ready and helps him out here. And with this, we have a pretty significant lead for them. 20 stacks to 10. And level 7 talents now for both of the teams, which also gives us the Emerald here on level 7 for Deckard Cain. We have, besides that, the Titan Grenade continued. Conviction is in. Master Assassin in this case for Tychus. And pretty much with the draft, they're holding strong to good old NA traditions. By the way, Mocha is just dead. Was trying to juke them out a bit, but yeah, that didn't work. So not only did they lose the Punisher, but Diamond Hands also just lost another of their players, and that is going to make the defense here in the middle a lot more difficult. So Chromie, she also has the slowing sands now. And that's something that I talked about in one of the previous matches, that it seems to me currently that a lot of the NA players are preferring the slowing sands a little bit more than what we're seeing in Europe, where most of the time, again, not always, it is still the temporal loop that will be picked by Chromie players to try and set up some kills and to try and bait out all of these cleanses on the other side so that you can set up some real kills then later on. But as it stands, the pressure play down to the bottom of the map. The wall already opened up. In the middle, a similar thing has happened as the first Punisher got quickly destroyed. But it still leads to 2 walls that are mostly gone. And there's not really a whole lot of counter damage that Diamond Hands could do just yet. It's not too bad. I mean, they're half a level behind, so they can always claw their way back here. Need to, of course, try and make a couple of plays before level 10 is available for 30k. But that being said, they're still Gucci. They're still fine. And right now, a couple of camps still up. I mean, again, this is the time to take them before heroic abilities are available for the blue team. No stacks yet for the Master Assassin, but again, you don't take the talent for the stats. The stacks, you take it because you want to have the passive. Anything else is just a bonus. We get the disc out once more, and Lucio hasn't made a choice yet. He's going to wait this out apparently and see what the... No, he is going for the high five. Top side, we still have another wall destroyed. So structurally, 30k is doing a decent job exposing those forts and trying to set kills up. Down to the bottom of the map, we had a similar thing happen since they pushed the wall out, but thanks to Lucio, the rotation towards the top was pretty swift. And with the level 10, Nintori needs to be very careful. They won't be able to save this one, or at least it's highly unlikely. Lulnado from Deckard Cain, the old man, with the books once more, but that is not only the fort destroyed, but is looking very much like we're going to get a kill or two. They were overstaying their welcome slightly. Sylvanas is still pushing with Tigers at the bottom of the map, which means that they have 0 damage, or well, not 0, but little. And the old man, as much as he's trying to hit them with the stick, it's just not enough. Both of them go down. And Deckard, Cain, and Johanna are toast. And Tychus, Sylvanas, they only got the wall at the bot lane. So not really a favorable trade for Diamond Hands. It was nicely done by 30k. It's also one of the beautiful things of having Lucio in your midst, because he just speeds everything up. Spray game on point as well. Gotta appreciate that. Chromie. And yeah, Chromie with all the damage after those stuns is pretty useful here, but we also have, of course, Cure himself with his MIF, currently at 8,000, 9,000 damage, which doesn't really sound like a whole lot, especially when you compare it to Chromie, but if you compare it to what everybody else in the game has, it's a pretty significant number regardless. I mean, we had only one big fight. Everything else were mainly small skirmishes. And this is the second Punisher only. We're only 7 minutes into the game. Now, the bad news for Diamond Hands is that they have no fort at the top lane anymore. So that means no fountain. That makes it instantly a lot more difficult for them to get the objective. Mind control. Yeah, they really want to mirror it. I mean, damn, son. Cattle gets out. That got dicey for a moment. I guess if Nintori is able to connect the drag and the tongue, then maybe they got a chance to get the kill. But outside of that, you can really tell that their idea is to just go through the bot lane and take that structure down. And with the help of Sylvanas, they might be able to do something here, but now the Cure is moving in. It is a 4 versus 4, and we have Blaze at the top on the Shrine, already working towards Punisher number 2. So 30k is really covering all their bases here. They're not allowing for the push at the bottom of the map, even with Odin being popped. And it's also interesting that Diamond Hands just decided they're not going for the objective. They just said, we don't have a fountain, we don't have any sustain there. They at least get the Mirrodin kill, so that's something. But they weren't able to take down the bottom fort. But they're not done with it yet. Problem is they're pretty much done up here. So Blaze is going to lock this one in. They're not going to lose out on it. 4 kills to 2, level 13 talents, of course, still a lead for 30k. It's 4 kills to 2 in total. But, yeah. 39. They're waiting for... Oh, Chromie got caught. Alright, now we're talking. Chromie getting caught here and killed just as Mirrodin is about to be back. So that's actually changing things a little bit. Now they can try and force the Punisher at the top. Initially, the idea of the blue team was to keep it at 39 stacks and then just let Blaze slowly take one of the minions after Mirrodin is back to business. But right now, he's still trying to buy sometimes. A time whereas Nintori on Dehaka is attempting to force his hand a little bit. But Chromie is about to be back. It's still 39 to 15, so Blaze is just waiting. He's going to get that final hit in. There it is, and now they can push through the top lane if they want to. But it's this continuous pressure down at the bottom of the map. Diamond Hands has completely shifted their strategy. They're at this point just saying, we're counter-pressuring. What can you do with only one hero at the top and the Punisher? We're going to try to get kills down here. Take the structures, but instead it's Tychus who finds himself in trouble. So they got to be careful with him too. Jojo also gets attacked, and Blaze is already at the top keep. So this is starting to become a bit troublesome. Because the more time Blaze has, the better. It's a 4 vs 5 down here. And they're still losing heroes. The fuck is happening? 30k getting the kill on Tychus. Moving in for Sylvanas and Jojo as they try to get even more kills. There's a second. There's a third. And boy, oh boy, Diamond Hands get currently crushed. I mean, at this point, they might as well play the game with no hands, because this is not going their way whatsoever. 2 levels down, 4 kills down, losing the keep, losing the fort at the bot lane, losing the 4v5, and wow. I mean, just wow. They got murdered. They were really hoping to get a bit of traction at the bottom fight, get a kill and go through the fort and push this aggressively. And instead, they just now lost 2 structures, one of them a keep, and multiple heroes. 30k, they saw an opportunity and they took it, and they won the 4 vs 5 battle, so not bad. Not bad at all. Decisive moves here from the blue team in this first game of the best of 5. Nicely done. And right now, yeah, half a level until 16. I guess it's going to be the best chance for Diamond Hands to make it back into the game and start a bit of a comeback. Let's not forget that they have the Haka, right? So they can hold the top lane. The Haka can always play the global card and then stay at the top. But they gotta try and defend here until they have level 16 talents, or this is just going to be a nightmare for them. And Caesar Stella talking about nightmares. He's in trouble already. But Cure is also low. Yes, just not enough damage currently to focus on him. The grenade nearly taking him out though. Staying a little bit too long here. And then even asking for it as he jumps back out. So they're still not giving up. Game number 1 looked pretty much done, but Diamond Hands, they're still pushing, and they catch Cure again. Okay, Maiev dead, and maybe now some momentum for the red team as they have level 16 talents. That gives us the Will of the Forsaken. We have the Roderick Staff, and let's go. They try for the fort. Can't do anything here. And they're getting pushed back by 4 once again. Well, the damage number is actually like 47,000 by Chromie. She's just shelling the shit out of them. Oh, Madara in the back, capitalizing on all the stuns and the CC. And he is high in damage here. I mean, Chromie is at this point a highest damage dealer in the game by far. The number 1 for sure. Yay! Shut up. 7 to 4. We have level 18 coming up now. And seems like the Haka wants to help out down here. They already had the Lulnado out, but they get the camp. They are not able to get a kill though. The idea was, of course, to ideally lock another kill in and maybe stagger some deaths on the blue team side. That hasn't quite worked out. With the next objective spawning in the middle, it's probably noteworthy that there's still a fountain for Diamond Hands. And, well, that's that. Okay, so, up at the top, we got Liam. The Star Horse, whatever that is. And they should probably fight for that Punisher. They can't really let that one go. But if they can get the kill here, and they can! Hello, ladies! What's happening? 30k is starting to drop the ball a little bit. First they lost Cure earlier and gave up some map control. Now just before the objective spawns, Blaze is down. Didn't even have a chance to bunker up here. And all of this is happening around the objective. I thought this was said and done once the top keep fell and they got 3 kills plus the bottom 4. This looked like full control by 30k. But Diamond Hands, they are fighting their way back into this, aren't they? They are level behind, but this should be a guaranteed objective for them. It would be crazy if the blue team can grab this one. So, looks like the first Punisher for Diamond Hands. And let's see, all the way up at the top, We already got the camp pushing through. We have at the same time with 21 stacks to 17, still a fair amount of stacks for 30k, way more than I expected them to get. And the little NATO didn't connect either. They are buying time for Blaze, and Blaze is back. Can they actually take this one? That would be bonkers. But they grab Lucio, and he's down. Another staggered death against 30k. This is the third one in a row now. First Maiev died, then by the time that Maiev was just back on the map, Blaze was caught and killed. Now Blaze is back and Lucio dies. This is 3 staggered deaths in a row, which means for the last roughly 2.5 minutes, the blue team has always played with a 4v5. Which is kinda nuts. So, still a mad advantage here for 30k, structurally speaking, but they're starting to lose that quickly. Level 20 for the blue team might help them to force another engage, but without Lucio, they cannot really fight this. Instead, Cattle is now jumping in, and level 20 is available, but the Punisher is still fighting this out, and it's a 4 versus 5 now that the Haka has also arrived. At the top, we have a camp pushing for the next fort, and currently Diamond Hands, they don't give a shit. And here's another kill, and again, it's another staggered death, the 4th one in a row. 30k is throwing this now. I mean, at this point, honestly, full int by 30k here. 4 staggered deaths in a row. They weren't willing to sacrifice enough. They didn't play it safe enough. Q died now for the 3rd time already. The keep is gone. Both teams are level 20. 7 kills to 7. An insane comeback from Diamond Hands as 30k just gives them opportunity after opportunity. Now, let's not mince words here. Diamond Hands is obviously fighting for these. They are forcing mistakes. But for 30k to just always play a little bit too greedy and not using the advantages properly, they probably thought this game was in the bag as well. But far from it. Right now, we have 30k back with, well, not back with 5, they are another 13 seconds. Just you wait, next kill incoming. Obviously, Diamond Hands wants this fort. And right now, if you are 30k, then you should really think about letting it go. I mean, you don't need that. It's fine. It's annoying, yes, so they're falling back. They are realizing that this would be a bad idea, especially with Maiev moving towards the top to prevent the wall from falling. But this is just getting a bit nasty. So, okay, as it is, we have 20 versus 20 now on the board. We got Contagion, the Dark Lady's Call is in, the Bottomless Flask, which is, of course, a pretty neat level 20 to have when you're fighting for an objective. And, yep. Just with that. Oh, next, by the way, is starting at the top. So if it's taken by the blue team, then they're going to go for the core directly. But, well, as it stands, we now have a very aggressive posturing red team that is looking for another kill here. So, yep, here we are. I mean, with that, in the case, Caesar Salas is making a move. We at the same time already have still another camp fought over. Keep missing in the mid lane, keep missing at the top lane. It's gonna come down to a final fight here. Never really thought that would was happening, given how the mid game was run. But yeah, this is still an invade attempt. Disc is out. Lulnado, yeah, they were trying to go for the hit here, but they get the camp. No steal. And the objective isn't up yet, but they're already starting to chase this a bit. This is the moment where you would have loved to have a temporal loop. I mean, obviously they got value out of the slowy sands too, but especially in these chase situations, oh boy, if you can force that over and over again, then yeah, that would be pretty great. So, either way, we have another hit coming in with the Dark Lady's Call, or at least attempted. Liam was able to move away from it on the other hand, so good for him. That could have been nasty if they get another Blaze kill here, but it's still a big poke between them. And here comes the engage, not only with the disc, but also Muradin jumping in, hitting the rewind. There's another stun, and Tyke is in trouble, gets the shield, tries to stay alive, and gets crushed by Lucio. Muradin makes his way out of the fight, the 5 versus 4. Not quite over yet, but 30k decides to play it safe and moves out of the battle, trying to steal the camp away. The Haka also active at the bottom of the map, trying to get another camp and maybe pressure the mid lane, but they are wrapping around in an attempt to go for the Arcane. Focus the target, or shift the target focus onto Sylvanas. Stormbolt might have missed, and so did the Jet Propulsion, and they can't get her, but they get the old geezer. Okay, so the Boomer is dead. Now they're trying to go for Jojo, and if she falls too, then I think this is a straight up walk towards the core. It's kind of mad to me that Mocha was able to just move away from this, but this time the Stormbolt hits, and that's everybody dead with the exception of Dehaka, who is just now making his way back towards the core. But this is of course way too late. And finally we have 30k with a victory in game number 1. Very good effort by Diamond Hands to attempt and bring this back, but it was fruitless at the end. 11 kills to 7 and a 1-0 lead in the best of 5 for the blue team as 30k locks in the victory on Infernal Shrines. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Game number 2, 30k has the lead. We got the blue team here on Towers of Doom, our second map in the best of 5 with Legacy on Rega, Cure on Hanzo, Cattle on Johanna. It's kind of funny. Cure got a little bit murdered on Maiev, so now he's going for Hanzo. He's like, okay, boys, I'm going range today. It's also interesting that they really love their Chromie, don't they? Madara for the second time in a row now playing Chromie, and he also played her in the previous series. We got Liam and Urel on the right side of the map, the Diamond Hands with Nintoria and Dehaka. We got Hebi on Anduin, Caesar Salad on Diablo, Airboy on Junkrat, and Mocha is playing Lunara. So the comeback map in the pool is being played. Towers of Doom, usually one of the most entertaining maps, honestly, when it comes to comebacks in Heroes of the Storm. I, by the way, don't like this mount. The stupid duck. This is something that Quacknix can rock, and that's about it. But yeah, so they're already trying for a little bit of a kill here, and Diablo, he's actually gonna die. Diablo is down. Not so immortal after all. Diablo gets killed right away. I don't think that he saw that coming either. If you as the tank make a rotation and then you get just poked a bit at the start, you're like, yeah, leave me alone. And you're annoyed because you're losing hit points, but you don't think that you're actually gonna get murdered there. So yeah, nicely done. Now, down to the bottom of the map, obviously, we have with Chromie and with Rega, two that can push this back a little bit, and Madara can also poke from a distance and try to take that wall down a bit. But with the lead after game number 1, 30k should feel pretty okay here. They had a decent game and just slacking a little bit after their mad advantage in the mid game. So if they can just like play this disciplined, they should have a good start in this one too. For Diamond Hands, on the other hand, it is a chance to bring this one now back. And we have a couple of combos available for them as well. So first and foremost, of course, we have with Anduin the potential for Light Bomb and then engages with Diablo. They got also a lot of poke here, especially with Junkrat, of course. And we'll see what they can do with that. And you got Lunara as well, interrupt potential, damage over time, the CC that comes with that. It's gonna be an interesting fight for sure. Level 4 with the chronic conditions for Chromie. We have now 2 stacks towards the level 1. And it's just the usual early game here, outside of Diablo being killed earlier. And Junkrat nearly murdered too. So what they're currently doing is going for the camps, playing this out slowly in an attempt to get some structural damage in. And the first triple altar phase should be announced in 30 seconds roughly, and then we can get the real party started. But up at the top we got Liam on Urel, so the Space Goat is in the house and trying to do her thing here. But up against 2, she might be able to hold this long enough for someone to rotate over, and yep, that's happening. And, well, she might fall, but even if she does, I think there's at least a counter kill in the cards. Lunara is down, so is Urel, and they're still fighting a 3 versus 2, but not for long, because Diamond Hands is literally rotating every single hero over. They take the camp, they traded kills, so at the end of the day, it's a bit of a win for the red team. But it also meant that Chromie had some time all alone down at the bottom of the map, but Nintori is already here and doing his thing now too. Madara needs to be pointed out, by the way, like he is really someone that loves style, not only when it comes to Chromie and the skins that he is using there, but he's also known for running absolutely rare and unique mounts, and it's always a joy to just see him come in with something else that just nobody else has. You know, he's pretty diligent about accumulating those. And there it is again! So rare and so unique, it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So yeah, very, very rare mount. It's incredibly unique and totally epic. So Madara, big plus here, big round of applause for him. because, yeah, the style police, it approves. He nearly got killed though. But yeah, so with everybody now rotating down, it's obviously the even exchange between the bell tower, the altars at the beginning. But now the red team is making a bit more space for Hebi, who gets the channel, and that means that Diamond Hands are taking the initial lead on core points with a 36-32. And everybody is slowly getting towards a level 7 here. So a pretty standard early game. Nobody is making any crazy moves yet. We had that skirmish at the top camp, which was resolved with both of them walking away with a kill. Level 7 actually now with a Dirty Trickster here for Junkrat. And yep, top side, we still have Liam against Nintori. Everybody is just going for the pumpkin cams again, so it's no aggressive... Actually, okay, for a second I was about to say no real aggressive plays just yet, and then Diablo was stopping by, and I was thinking, are they invading? Are they going for the aggressive move? Nah, they didn't. So they're just playing this out slowly, but with the next couple of objectives, this is obviously going to get more and more contested once the level 10 kicks in particular. And the next objective also is going to feature just a single altar at the bot lane. And of course, as you might know, bot lane is the most important lane on Towers of Doom for multiple reasons. If you can convert all of the bell towers to your name down here, then you have a pretty significant lead. And talking about converting things, they are trying to get another kill here, and Chromie is in trouble, but she's still able to walk away here. Nice shielding from Rhaegar and Johanna. But we also have Cure still on the run, and he might actually bite the dust. He wants for the counter kill and doesn't get it. The Hunter taken down by the Hunted. Lunara with the kill. But as I said, the bot lane is the most important one, because you have 2 pumpkin camps that move through it. So if you can establish full bell tower presence at the bot lane, you can directly attack the core with the pumpkins. But also, this particular altar, if you have both bell towers, is super difficult to get to for the opponent's team, and makes it very, very easy for you to take control here. So that is what all the teams are currently aiming for. With 2 kills to 2, we now have a slight lead in experience for Diamond Hands, as they're getting a little bit closer to this. And that level 10 should help them to get another altar. Yeah, Cattle is low once again. We have Liam moving in too. They want to go for Lunara. And there it is, the kill. Pancake move by Urel and the final hit of Jojo. 3 kills to 2. Level 10 is there for Diamond Hands, but it's just a bit too late. They are already outnumbered down here. Arrow barely dodged, and the Blessed Shield too. They lost both. Both ults missing. Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. The Ancestral, on the other hand, that one at least connected, and Diablo is trying to force them back with a Lightning Breath here. So, as it stands, we still have identical hit points on the core. We had some ults exchanged and, again, some kills, but nothing that really forced the game one way or another. So everybody is like playing this a little bit slower and pretty calm and collected. We have our fights, but nobody is overly committed yet to any of them. Always just trying to see what they can get without risking too much. Up at the top, Urel. Ult came out, but Liam is able to get away. Thornwood Vines, by the way, on level 10 for Lunara, so that range poke is now there. That helps with interrupts on channels. And they have with the Junkrat, of course, another fantastic tool to accomplish exactly that. Camps are taken once again. And Pumpkins are marching through the lanes. The next altar phase is just going to be a double altar at the top. That normally ends up in an easy split between the 2 teams. So I don't really anticipate any big fights until... yeah, the second objective, the objective after the next. Unless, of course, they're connecting an arrow or something, but this one missed completely. So Kyo was trying to get a connect here with Lunara, I suppose, but wasn't able to make that happen, as you might have seen on the minimap. Now we got 3 kills to 2. And, yeah, still that slight lead in experience for Diamond. They're hoping for the talent lead, but it's such a small window that I don't think they can capitalize on it. Light Bomb, they're trying for Chromie, and they just can't make it work. That timing was just a bit off. Now another attempt with the Riptire, but even that is destroyed before I can do anything. The Lightning Breath didn't do a whole lot either, so this 4 versus 4 without a single kill, as both of the solo laners at the top are now just simply going for the channel. It's an even exchange here, and with that, we're now still seeing that fight down here continued, but of course you got Anduin on your team, so he can easily pull the target out. Nice counter engage by Caesar. Salah trying to go for Chromie. but that was thwarted too. So they're trying. The teams are trying. They're looking for opportunities. They want to get a bit ahead here now that the death timers are also slowly increasing. It's obviously quite beneficial if you can lock that kill in. Diablo died once at the beginning of the game, but ever since then he's been playing pretty stellar. Now Rhaegar's in trouble, and that's the support gone. Diamond Hands, nice. They have a half-level lead now, and they just engaged with level 13. Remember when I talked about that small window that they're gonna have for the talent lead? And I was doubting that they were able to use it? Well, they did. They forced the fight just around that level 13 talent lead and were able to get the kill, fighting with the power spikes. So good for them. And also nice engage by Caesar Salad. Them catching Rhaegar was exactly what they needed in this situation. Damage output that we're currently looking at is 24,000 for Hanzo. Chromie is sitting quite comfortably at 21k. And yeah, we also got 19 and 18,000 on the damage dealer side for Diamond Hands. But it's still Cure doing a lot more now than it did with Maiev. I mean, of course, in the last game, Maiev also mainly there for the CC, at least amongst other things. Now with a great arrow from Hanzo, they're setting up a kill on Anduin. The Crybaby is down and is gone. For the Alliance, I want my mommy. They are mean to me. Oh, Anduin never changed. So yeah, they focus Anduin. Anduin gets murdered. He just got abandoned. Red team couldn't stand the crying anymore, so they had to retreat a little bit. And he was left behind. Okay, so single altar again. We've been here before. Once again down at the bottom of the map, so let's go. Baby Rage Anduin is back to business too. Did I say single? There was another altar up and they channeled that already. So now it's all about the bottom altar. But Anduin is slowly coming back. He's not here yet though, but wow. Diamond Hands, they are the ones looking for the kill here. The Ancestral comes out, Barbecue gets stopped, and Liam mercilessly jumping in against Lunara once again. Now it seems like Caesar Salad is also in trouble. Lunara trying to cut him off here, activating the ult 2. It's a 4 versus 4 with both Jojo and Lunara gone. Joanna never even had a chance to drop her Blessed Shield there either. So the altar is still up for grabs. 5 kills to 4, and 30k is trying to take the lead again. Trying to make the push for it. Poking out the opponent. Big arrow. 4-man arrow. Diablo moving in, and a great light bomb engage, and it's the end of Cure. They are connecting the kill. Caesar Salad still staying alive for a long time, but eventually he falls, had the soul stacks, and will be back to business in pretty much no time. Big push also up at the top with the double minion wave here, so that bell tower is taking some damage, whereas down to the bot lane they're connecting all the focus and the damage with Nintori, who's trying to get out, but in comes Jojo, still has the Blessed Shield, keep that in mind. The channel has happened, by the way. 30k was able to get the altar, so despite the fact that Diamond Hands now has a level 16, they lost both of the altars now 8 points behind on the altar channel. Level 16 talents, we now get the fast forward over here too. And the endless nades. But the camp, at least, that gets locked in by Diamond Hands. So things are definitely getting a lot more tense here. A lot of back and forth happening right now between the teams. Plays are being made for the bell towers too, but these altars are heavily fought over. The lead in the game, as it stands now, goes to 30k though. I mean, they are nearly dead even, but in terms of core points, there is a significant advantage now for the blue team. Now, this is still Towers of Doom, so late game control of the game is everything. Once that you establish that, you can easily bridge that gap, but it's something to keep in mind already. There's only one team that runs a global here, so the Haka is going to play a big role, especially in situations like this one, where they can decide whether or not they want to fight over the pumpkin camp. And, well, blue team decides against it. Ihaka has already made it down to the bottom of the map though. So he started to push out the top lane a little bit and is now making his way back. They're hoping, of course, to slowly take this one. But Liam, after all of the successes that he had in the team fights, is now coming through, making sure that that bell tower doesn't take additional damage. And with the next altar phase, we're having a triple altar on the map. So that's 12 points up for grabs now. And we'll see if one of the teams is able to pull farther ahead here, aka 30k, or if Diamond Hands is closing this gap a little bit. very likely it's going to be an exchange of bell towers at the top side again. I mean, at least for now, Liam is going to try and interrupt here, but that also means that the 4 versus 4 battle at the bottom for the third altar is going to continue for much longer. Level 17 on both sides. There's no talent advantage anytime soon. And they're just looking for their kill. And topside is just interrupts. Liam is not falling back here, so Urel against Dehaka. They're trying to buy as much time as they can. Depending on the outcome of the bottom fight and whoever takes this first, we might see somebody rotate to the top left and try to sneak that in. Or just help Dehaka out, one way or another. It's going to be interesting who gets it. Junkrat being annoying as always. But it seems like this might... No, it's still not a successful channel. Too many grenades from Junkrat. He has to reposition once more. Arrow gets thrown out and another arrow narrowly missing here. Another narrow by Cure. Dehaka. Look at this. He's fucking done with the left side. He's saying like, alright, what about if I get this one? Another interrupt as Lunara is trying to get the channel. It's still a 4 versus 4 down here. But as the solo laners, the side laners are still annoying each other, this battle is just not stopping. This has been going on for minutes at this point. Everybody is just looking for the kill, looking to create some space and time for somebody to channel it through. By now we are at level 18 for the two teams, and still not a single altar has been taken. Not the top, not here. They are making a play for Diablo, but even that is thwarted. And Dehaka tries again. Dehaka tries again, and Liam is having none of it, but what an engage, nearly a kill. The Ancestral saving Cure. He jumps back in and gets toasted by Diablo. Oh boy. Dibbles himself also in trouble. Blessed Shield is out. Lunara about to die. Diablo in trouble too. Rega is also alone. Death, decay, and mayhem everywhere all of a sudden. The spell has been broken. Rega gets murdered by the mine. 7 kills to 7. 2 kills to 1 in favor of Diamond Hands. And now they just might have the momentum to grab a few of these altars. Cattle is there, ready for the interrupt. He's ready for another quick one, trying to buy some time for them, but that was exactly what Diamond Hands needed. Rega dying and also Hanzo. And yeah, you can say that Cure misstepped and misread the situation just a bit. He actually jumped back in and didn't have anything that he could do there. Now we have topside taken, so... As the dust settles, it's 2 altars for the red team, 1 altar still for 30k, so both teams are aiming for level 20 as we have 20 to 16 points on the core. And towards the later stage of the game, it looks once more like we're having this, I don't want to call it a stalemate, but this pretty even situation between the two teams. It already happened in game number 1 after initially 30k pulled ahead, but now we are facing a similar situation here too. Not a single bell tower has, by the way, been converted this entire game. No one. So they're trying for that now, but not a single bell tower has been even dropped to 50% HP. Which is bonkers, honestly. We're 16.5 minutes into the game, and none of this has happened yet. We're already at level 20 here. Which gives us the Farseer's Blessing. We now get the Blinded by Light. 20, of course, any moment now for Diamond Hands too. As they're looking for another chance to maybe get an engage going, but they really should wait for the Storm Talons. And Dehaka is doing what he's supposed to do. He's always sitting on the side lane, doing his thing here. We have the Contagion. We got the Forest Wrath and also the Sensor now for Anduin. Diablo went with the Hail Gate. And they're looking for kills again. Cattle is moving in, has the Blessed Shield. He's not going to use it here. It's just too close to the action. Altar spawning again. It's a single altar. Cure! Not his best day, is it today? I mean, don't get me wrong. He's not playing horrible or anything. The man has still top damage, and that arrow was absolutely on point. But he's also dying quite a bit today. Game number 1 and game number 2. So that might be a little bit uncharacteristic for him. But he's still delivering on the damage numbers. And he has missed quite a few arrows this game. But that last one, that one was superb. Perfect hit. 5 deaths, by the way, on Lunara. Like, Bambi has been farmed. Bambi has been absolutely farmed this game. And while they are battling, Liam is getting the channel. So once again, it's a bit of an objective win for 30k. And the core on the side of Diamond Hands is now dropped down to 12 points. So they are closing in on the single digits. Whereas Caesar Salad, if he dies too, they might just get that bell tower. Cattle gets attacked, and so does Liam, but the two tanks, the two hit point fiends over here are pushing them back. And now more control from Chromie. Madara is coming in with the slowing stance time and time again. It makes it very difficult for Diablo to engage in any meaningful way. Dehaka is trying to apply pressure in the middle and the top lane, so is consistently moving those minion waves towards the blue team's bell tower in the hopes that the hit points are slowly being whittled down and they can eventually take it. Hasn't happened yet. 8 kills to 7. But as it stands, it's a bit of an advantage for the blue team, because down here they're getting closer and closer to a bell tower conversion. We have Cure. Dude, what the hell? Cure nearly got soloed by Nintori. Yeah. And while that happens, the arrow is shot down, but Chromie has been completely surprised here. Triple arrow of death from nowhere. The other side of the map, but Chromie is already dead. That arrow took a little bit too long, so Chromie is down, and well, the Diamond Hands are of course pushing again. I mean, it's a late game, we've seen it before. They should really try and take this one. Maybe with the help of Lunara. They kill Rhaegar just as they lose Dehaka, so that got a bit spicy. Now it's a 4 versus 3. Good for them. But Lunara should really try to take that bell tower. The double ult activating in 10 seconds. If you get that bell tower and maybe even another kill, you're going to be in such a great spot here. So yes, Kyo dies again. Hanzo is gone. The bell tower is taken. They're hoping for even another kill. This time it's Catalyts on the menu. And they're going to get him too. Well, or not. Diablo! Diablo is dead, but so is Jojo. Okay, that was a bit memey. But that's 10 points. That's 10 points that they're gonna get here. But that was an interesting one. I mean, Diablo gets absolutely body blocked in the death zone as he pushes a bit too far. I mean, he GG'd himself pretty much. But thankfully, at least for them, they still got the kill. So now Urel is gone as well. 10 to 12 kills. They still haven't taken these bell towers, by the way. They are currently focusing on more damage on structures. So they let the altars go. They go for the bell towers instead. They are aiming for full control here. With the death timers as high as they are, and them having Lunara here and other heroes, they are getting full control over this. It's actually pretty decisive. So instead of playing it safe, they are taking a bit of a risk here, but this is going to work out for them. At the bottom of the map, the blue team is trying to retake, but this is gonna take some time. And now the shots are fired. We have the first one located in here too. That's 7 that they get with each one of the altars they're channeling right now. They are very likely going to end this now. Massive hits towards the blue team score. 11 points and the party continues. All they got to do is buy time and they get a double kill with the barbecue. That's lights out right here. This is over 100%. Only Rhaegar and Jojo are there. 9 points on the core. We're going to have Mokka take the bottom. Yeah, Jojo was in the middle trying to make a play here, but good on Diamond Hands. Yep, that's a win. That's a win. Diamond Hands, they turn the game. The comeback map once again true to its name. 30k losing on Towers of Doom as the red team claims victory. Game number 3. We got the third map coming up in the best of 5, and we are on Sky Temple. Interesting. So Sky Temple is the map. And by the way, don't be confused, but these fuckers were actually testing us a little bit. They switched sides, but they're not gonna catch me. Nah, I paid attention. So overlay has already been adjusted. On the left side, we have Diamond Hands. It's yeah boy. On Tyrael, playing the Nick variation of it, the damage Tyrael, the assassin Tyrael that Nick popularized on the European side. Mokka on Sylvanas. We got Heavy with Stukov, Caesar Salad as the main tank on Muradin, and Nintori on Dehaka. To the right side of the map, it's 30k with Cattle on Jojo. We got Cure on Falstad, Liam on Urel, Madara on Junkrat, and Legacy is playing Brightwing. You don't get to see Sky Temple a whole lot these days. And, well, there's a birdie. So pretty much what happens here right now is they were trying to figure out where exactly Sylvanas was attempting to push. Normally when you have a Sylvanas against you, they're always trying to go in the early game sneakily onto one of the towers and then either drop it or at least get it down to 50% HP. So they spread out on the map, 30k did. and then Falstad flying in or threatening it, shut that down pretty quickly. And it's a very hit point heavy and melee heavy lineup that we're now seeing for the blue team. But again, if you're a little bit newer to this particular type of composition, then this is something that has been with pretty big success played by Nick on the European side. He used it during the Masters Clash finals, playing Tyrael with Judgment on level 10 and just more of a damage build, and playing him as an assassin, and that worked really well. So this is actually something that gets played every now and then these days. Together with the Haka, they got also global that can mirror the movements of Falstad a little bit. And it will be an interesting one. I mean, first of all, we don't get to see Sky Temple a whole lot these days. It's not the most popular map. It pops up every now and then, but it's not getting played that much. But I'm pretty intrigued how this is going to go now. And this is still a best of 5, and as I already said, it's all about the ticket to Miami, right? You want to make sure that you have a chance to get to the offline event. This is where all the prize money is. $11,000 in total. Free trip to Miami, meeting up with people that you have probably not seen since the HGC days, and just having finally a chance again to represent your own region at an international tournament where we have Korea, North America, and Europe. So it's going to be pretty epic. Again, check out heroesinternational.net if you want to visit, if you also want to see what's going on. And by the way, the live stream is all going to happen on my Twitch channel. So twitch.tv/Khaldor. This is where all the live games are going to take place if you want to watch online, if you can't come to Miami directly. Double camp at the top already. A little bit of a better position right now for Diamond Hands to push, but of course if 30k can sustain their own camp here, they will be able to try and push this further. The Globals have taken over on the side lanes. Space Goat with a handoff. Freedom! Going full NA on us over here. And, well... Tyrael kind of got caught there a little bit as he was trying to move out, but as I already said, he's on level 1 going into the Ardent Restoration, the Divine Vigor. Again, the build adapted. He's not the main tank. That's still Murden. That's still the Dwarf. Budget Gimli is here, throwing candy around a little bit. It's honestly a little bit lazy. I mean, Blizzard on the one hand brings in the Candy King Murden, which to me is still a little bit of a Pedo King Murden, because it's a little bit creepy. You want to have some candy? So yeah, I don't know. But if they already do that, I mean, then please at least also change the animation when he throws a Stormbolt. That should be a candy cone or something that he fires away, and not just another Stormbolt. They just get that in. So yeah, I don't know. Either way, the first objective is up, and we have an even trade between the temples, so shots are fired. Now, as I always explain, this is a map where structural damage is everything. If you're able to damage your opponent's structures without using the objective, and you push a lane or two down by using, in this case, for example, Sylvanas, then you are in a fantastic spot. Because from that point onwards, every single even trade on objective with your opponent is going to benefit you and is eventually going to lead to you having a massive advantage around keeps that are taken down and the core being attacked. So if you can facilitate that at any point, if the blue team wins a big fight and then uses Sylvanas to take a fort down, take some walls down, that is going to help them a ton in the long run. And this is what the teams are going to be aiming for. And there it is. First blood. Kill number 1. Congratulations. Nicely done. Diamond Hands able to get the lock on Urel, and the Space Goat is dead. Falstad and the Haka still pushing. I mean, again, both have done a lot of damage with the first objective, but they're still trying to take those forts down. And Legacy is also dead. The Fruit Fly is dead too. So we have 2 kills to 0. Seems like Diamond Hands are kind of eager to get back into the action here. They made the comeback happen on Towers of Doom, which was, by the way, pretty awesome. I mean, nice decision making there towards the end. Not playing it safe, risking this a little bit, and then just completely crushing. Now we got 2 kills to 0 in game number 3 for them too. So 30k, they definitely have to step it up a little bit. Dig a bit deeper, and then go for it. Level 10 should hit a bit sooner for Diamond Hands, and they've been in game number 2. They've already been using small windows around talent advantages quite nicely. So if they can do that again here, that would be pretty sweet. And well, we'll find out as things continue. I mean, as it stands, they have a half-level lead, and this is also coming in as the second objective is up. All the way up here at the top, we still have that fort in, but now they should have a chance to move into the middle. Tyrael, of course, as already predicted, has taken Judgment. So they want the birdie, and they're gonna get the birdie! Or aren't they? Well, maybe not. Because Brightwing is here, and nobody made it through the wall. The wall wasn't open yet, so now instead Sylvanas is dead. Yeah, that was a little bit too trigger happy. If that wall was open, if that gate was there, they could have gone for the kill, but I think they miscommunicated this a bit. It all really seemed to me like Tyrael thought that wall was open and the team could come in and help him, but that wasn't the case, so now they lost Sylvanas and they lost Dehaka. The red team pushes top side to go for the fort, they're definitely going to destroy that, and at the same time, the push at the bottom of the map is now also going to continue. So, the early level 10 was kind of nice for Diamond Hands, but it resulted in them losing 2 heroes, and now they're going to lose quite some ground here. So, yeah. That's a little bit awkward. The top fort goes down. At the bottom of the map, the wall is also getting destroyed, and I think they're going to try and work on this even more. So if they can destroy a second fort, then that would be the dream. Boss is obviously also on the map already ever since the 5-minute mark. Nobody has made a move for this yet either. How much damage can they do with this? This is honestly looking like going to be very close to destroying it. I mean, not with the temple, but it's close enough that with a good rotation they should be able to take it down later on. But yeah, that definitely changed the game. That definitely changed the momentum a bit. Not an insane advantage, but it's pretty much, it's a lead. It's a lead for 30k. As I said, now they can very safely just trade objectives with the opponent and will be ahead. But with Sylvanas in the lineup, Diamond Hands can of course bring this back. But they have to focus on this a bit. Tyrael has his Judgment back, so he can come in, try and help them get a kill, maybe once again on Falstad. So, yeah. Top side, we got Cure doing his thing now too. Down at the bottom of the map, still some pressure against the wall here. But as long as the globals are fighting it out top side, this is going to be a continuous 4 versus 4 with an occasional move into the middle, as we now have 2 of the, so to say, side laners doing their thing here. But yes, Dehaka has to deal with that. This is a pretty big push here with the camp. And Falstad is coming in. Cure, he realizes that they have a bit of an edge there. Nintori is taking a lot of damage, and this is a big push. And again, you don't have to take everything down, but if you can take another tower apart, that's already a win. And there's always the boss, and eventually this is going to become a boss battle. And so far, I would say in terms of area contest, I honestly think for the boss fight, 30k is a much better lineup. There's no Sanctification on Tyrael that could help you on the boss battle. Yes, you have Stukov, of course, but Stukov, once that he takes position, a Mighty Gust is going to interrupt him. And there's just a lot there. It can really hurt Diamond Hands once we're looking at a fight around the boss. Unless Sylvanas hits the perfect arrow or a massive contagion from Dehaka later on, this should be a very solid battle for 30k whenever it happens. And it will happen eventually, we all know that. The virulent reaction for Stukov on level 13. We got a double temple coming up now. Still tiny experience lead for 30k, but let's see who's gonna take the lead on these shots. Muradin is at least getting a few, but not for long. Liam is now about to take over here, and they're pressuring Muradin back, and Falstad is also claiming some shots up at the top. So right now, 30k is doing pretty well here. Still Cure locked into a battle with Dehaka, but down at the bottom of the map, the blue team hasn't given up on this yet either. There's no talent advantage, but there is, of course, a fountain still on each side that can be used, and the shots are coming in. Blue team is taking over, so they're doing well here, and 30k is giving this up, at least for now. They're trying to reclaim it. They want that bottom fort, of course, and just a couple of shots and they will be able to get it. Brightwing gets attacked, and the Fruit Fly, the Stormbolt after the Judgment. And the support is gone, and so is Junkrat. Diamond Hands fighting back with Dehaka joining the bot lane fun, and now they can even go for the boss. So Dehaka moved down, turned into a 5 versus 4, which means they give up on the top temple. And so, therefore, Cure gets lots of shots fired, which is going to destroy both of the forts, by the way. Fort in the mid lane is taken down. Fort at the bot lane is also going to be dropped. But we have the boss taken too, so this is an interesting trade that we have here now. We still have, structurally speaking, a bit of an advantage for 30k because they hold on to the fort at the top, but the boss at the bottom of the map, that's a different story. And now the entire 5-man of the blue team is moving towards the remaining fort with level 16 in their hands, trying to pressure this further, which they can't really do too much because everybody's back. But hello, that would be an awesome kill if they can get Madara again. But Brightwing to the rescue. Brightwing is here dealing with it. Falstad is dealing with the boss at the bottom of the map. As long as they can hold on to that top fort, they're still gonna be in the lead. Not necessarily in experience, as you can tell, but in towards the objective and structures. Again, the attack, but no follow-up. So this time this didn't work out. Urel pops the ult. In the back line, we still got Tyrael, and Urel goes down, but I got bad news for the blue team. Yeah, boy is not gonna make it either. Or is he? Hello? Not shabby. Nice. Well, maybe not. He dies. Alright, so he dies eventually. Tyrael is dead. They are trying for that fort, and they barely miss out on taking it apart. Yeah, another move as they're coming in with Nintori, and that's a kill on Junkrat. Guys, this is all over the place. Cure gets another one as he goes for Sylvanas and drops her. This is just everybody dead and dying. The Fruit Fly is dead too as Muradin goes in for the deep jump. So now we have 7 kills to 4, a half-level lead for Diamond Hands. This is getting real scrappy over here. Big damage from both sides. That fort is now going to be closed out by Muradin, so we are dead even in structures. Dead even in structures. 34,000 damage for Falstad. Q hasn't died yet. Top damage in the game. Has been farming it against the melees. And yeah, this is... these two are pretty evenly matched right now, I gotta admit. This is pretty fun. All the games, if you think about it, game number 1 on Infernal, game number 2 on Towers of Doom, both of these games could have ended either way. There was always some point in the game where one team or another had a lead and looked like they were the sure winner, but every single time it was brought back and either team could have won. Tyrael still making a couple of moves here as he's trying to play aggressive, buy some time, create some space, but with 2 additional temples being up on the map now, the teams are now both looking to slowly work on taking the first keep down. And Muradin is getting a lot of shots in, up at the top. Falstad has escorted some Siege Giants through the bot lane though, and that's interesting because the more time those Siege Giants have, the more damage they will do there. And it even triggers the blue team to abandon the mid lane objective. They are absolutely content with just controlling the top lane though, since they are realizing that if they wait too long, then the Siege Giants and catapults down here are going to do too much. And now the red team is... Yep, they are smelling blood in the water. They realize that they have a shot here, but they're not following through with it yet. Now we have a keep in the middle of the map on the blue team side that has taken damage, but if you just look at the top lane, the same is happening on the 30k side too. And that's a much more important keep. Or at least you could argue that. Drag is connecting, Falstad trying to deal with the camp, but he might have to join the fight here. Tyrael is at the bottom of the map, so it's a 4 versus 4, with Diamond Hands getting closer and closer to level 20. They want to have the lead here. So, yep. There we go. Okay. Level 20 any second now. There's the Stormbolt. Yeah, we got also the Angel. The upgrade is in. And still, I mean, there's a couple of minion waves that are still missing for 30k, so they have to fall back here. They can't really give Tyrael a chance to engage into this, especially with Muradin also running Rewind. If he just hops close and you get a double Stormbolt after being stunned out by Tyrael first, and you're just dead, especially with the Wailing Arrow follow-up from Sylvanas. So yeah, they need to play this one pretty far back. And there's no reason not to. There's nothing up on the map. You can literally just wait for this to push in. So there's Judgment. He gets out barely, but those are those dangerous moments that you should really, really avoid if you can. 20 is ready now, though. They go for Tyrael. He's dead. No, he's not. Yeah, he is. Tyrael is down. Junkrat was able to get out, but that could have been a problem for 30k. They get the kill though, and now they are the ones trying to make a play here. A gust attempt against Stukov. They're trying to stop Heavy, and it's looking really good. Stukov is not really that fast. So yeah, he's caught and he's taken down. That's a double kill, and now it's gonna be a problem because the boss just respawned on the map. Nice. Boss is back up, 7 kills, 2-6. And Dehaka, they've taken the top keep, and he is trying to force them back. So this is gonna be some core damage. This is going to be some actual core damage here. And this is not nothing. Guys, that's 20 points of the core. And at the same time, the boss is being contested a little bit. 56%. The fuck is happening right now? 30k. 30k. Totally underestimated this. 30%. They're trying to go for the core here. And Sylvanas 18. Muradin is moving in too, but he had to go straight through the keep. 3%. The fuck is going on? And they die. 3% on the core. Tyrael is coming in from the top. Holy shit. 30k. Mehr Glück als Verstand. In comes Tyrael. The Tyrael explosion would take 5 points off, but the shield is there. He couldn't remove the shield. He couldn't attack anything. The boss is at the bottom of the map. The fuck is going on here? This is just nasty. 30k absolutely underestimated that situation. They absolutely underestimated this. They didn't realize what was going on. Then they were afraid that they would lose the boss. They were trying to send Falset back. He got interrupted by Muradin. Sylvanas and Dehaka nearly ended the game here. Guys, if Diamond Hands would have committed a little bit earlier with Sylvanas, I think they might have been able to do it. I mean, it's a lot of ifs and whens, but that was, I think, towards the end possible. Obviously, the mistake of 30k to underestimate it this hard, and they eventually saved it, but holy shit, this series. You gotta be kidding me. 3% on the core, and now obviously this is going to be a death blow since they're moving through the middle, unless the blue team can facilitate a miracle, and they can't. So it's a 2-1 lead for 30k, but holy hell, what a series between these two teams. This winner bracket final is definitely a blast. Pretty insane finish on Sky Temple. The teams are playing it fast and loose again with the sides, but Khaldor isn't fooled, so we have 30k this time on the left side with Diamond Hands towards the right. But boy oh boy, what a finish. I mean, seriously, 3% on the core, and that was so close. Muradin interrupting the Hearth of Falset and others around the boss battle, threatening to attack it there too, buying time for Dehaka and Sylvanas, then trying to do a bit of damage himself, having to actually move through the middle keep. If that was already gone and he didn't take any damage there, they might have even been able to win the game. Then Tyrael stopped just before he can attack the core, move the shield down, and the explosion alone was not enough to break through shield and hit points. So a pretty impressive third game, and that leads us to our Tomb of the Spider Queen game, the first match point for the blue team for 30k. Now again, if you're a little bit confused by the consistent back and forth here on the left and right side, the teams have now switched sides twice. So 30k is in the lead. They have taken Sky Temple, and now we find ourselves on Tomb of the Spider Queen. So for the first time in the series, we got not only Hogger, but we also have now Mephisto in the game. And we got Cassia. So for Diamond Hands, they must be a bit frustrated. I mean, first of all, they lost, of course, a pretty significant fight that would have... I mean, it is a little bit of a weird one, right? It's kind of odd to say that Diamond Hands is the team that has a right to be frustrated because they lost the big team fight. They lost 3 heroes, if I'm not mistaken. And from that point onwards, it was just a given that the boss would be taken by 30k and that they would also get some of the objective. But then they used that moment with the few remaining resources to nearly turn the game around. And 30k absolutely underestimated that push. So... very close to 30 as to Diamond Hands sneaking in a victory. And you can argue that they shouldn't have been in that place in the first place, that they shouldn't have had that opportunity, because 30k just misread what was going on and underestimated the damage that Dehaka with that catapult and also Sylvanas would be able to do, that they didn't realize how much Muradin would delay them around the boss. But again, for Diamond Hands, it must be a bit frustrating to be now in this spot and not taking that win, even though it was a bit of a cheeky, sneaky attempt. Now, here is a chance to bring it to game number 5 in the winner bracket final. Obviously, we have 30k playing very aggressive right from the get-go, taking a quick bruiser camp and pushing through the mid lane, where they use Sylvanas to take the gate and also the tower down. So a lot of early game aggression from them. They are now the ones with Hogger down at the bottom of the map. And they are continuing that little trend here. I mean, Caesar Salad is already quite low. And they want to go for the kill here. And they nearly got it too. But with Sylvanas here, they are once again able to do a lot of damage. And as the red team is currently trying to take this camp, Brightwing is delayed on her move towards the top. And that allows 30k to get pretty much the entire wall down to less than 50% HP. So good on them. Gems are, of course, accumulated at the same time, too. But it is getting a bit crazy here. Because 30k is, at least initially, a lot more aggressive than they've been so far throughout the series. Most of the games that we saw up to this point were pretty civilized at the beginning. Everybody just like with a non-aggression agreement, just looking for the occasional gank, but outside of that, not really a whole lot of commitments made. Outside of saying, yeah, let's go for our own camps. But with Sylvanas, 30k is starting to push this a bit. They're really trying to get early game damage in on structures, and they've done pretty well. If they're getting their first Webweaver wave, then they have a solid shot at taking forts down, now that most of the walls have been removed. And Cure, he's been doing very well on Falstad, of course. Now he's trying to follow up with another solid game on Sylvanas. So this again is the winner bracket final. The loser will still have a chance to move to the grand finals through the losers bracket. But this is not really a position where Diamond Hands wants to be in. They're trying to bring it back again. Equalize the score once more. Deny this match point to 30k. And the blue team, yeah, they're still looking for the first kill here too. Level 7, a little bit faster for Diamond Hands. Not really a big window that they have this time. And with Mephisto also going into a bit of a different build. These days when we see a Mephisto played either in Korea or in Europe, it's most of the time a bit of a Skull Missile mix. But in this case now we have the Furious Spark and the Static Barrier leading straight into the Trickery. So different variation from Mephisto. And still very, very powerful, of course. Sylvana's low, but so is Jojo. 33 gems have already been turned in by 30k as they're aiming for the first turn-in. And they're also looking for a kill. Now, Cassie has to be careful too, but it's especially Jojo at the front that has found herself in trouble more than once. But Caesar Salad hasn't fallen yet. They were not able to turn in the gems on Intori, but Liam was able to turn in. And that's always nice when your side laner is able to make that happen. So Intori gets interrupted, but that also means that there are less people around at the top lane turn-in point to deal with Mephisto, and that's 47 gems that have been delivered. And if Cattle is able to get another 3 connected, then that's going to be the first Webweaver wave. And indeed, that's going to happen. Caesar Salad is a moment too late, and the blue team has an opportunity. And as I said before, they have a big chance now, because they already did so much damage to those walls in the middle and the top, that they might be able to pull off first destruction of the fort. I mean, look at this. Again, everything is super low. With just a little bit more poke and Sylvanas helping out here, there is a decent shot at taking a fort. At least the walls are going to fall here 100%. I mean, that's a given. So they're meeting Sylvanas with 3 heroes right now, whereas the rest of the team is pushing in the middle. And Hanzo is pretty low and forces Brightwing to move over and help out here. Hogger at the bot lane. Sylvanas now coming here towards the middle, trying to help and rotating back up. Yeah, they've taken the walls down for sure, but can they get a kill? Once again, it's Hanzo that is the focus of their damage. But the fort is taking damage now too, and it's dropped pretty quickly. An attempt at the top lane to go for Sylvanas might just end up with Cassia dying, and that's exactly what happens. Nicely done. They see the chance. Cassia chased a little bit too much. There's the ult, the barbecue baby, and the mind control. Even with Brightwing trying to help out, it's not enough. Nicely done, and now the fruit fly has been eliminated too. Trashwing is dead, and that's 3 kills to 0. And after the mid lane fort has nearly been destroyed, down to 50% HP, less than that even, the top one gets completely eliminated. Big lead here for 30k, and just look at this. Mind control, the root from Malfurion, all the ults coming through just as the perfect moment in time, and then Brightwing also obliterated. Easy double kill at the top, taking the fort down too, and they are just looking great with this. So it's 3 kills to 0. We have another camp taken. Full map control, obviously, for a short period of time for 30k. And there's also a few gems that were denied very quickly to the red team. They're still trying to make that turn-in happen, obviously. But it's a bit of an annoying one for Diamond Hands. Yeah, they got to fight back here, and they also got to deal with situations like the one that is now starting to unfold at the bot lane, where Liam is getting Siege Giants into a decent position, can always poke his way out of this one, and does exactly that. Easy escape, no problem at all, forcing the red team to rotate down. Mind control is hitting into the root, into the stun, into the death of Johanna. Jojo dead. 40 stacks. Oh, nice. Nice attempt by Madara here. They were trying to be sneaky and go for the Dehaka kill. If they can drop him, that would of course be fantastic. Nothing hit, by the way, from the scatter shot, and the blue team turns in again. 2 turn-ins in a row. Well done. Bit unlucky for Hanzo, of course, that he didn't get any connects here. Couldn't delay it at all. Now Jojo is back, so good for them. But they're going to lose ground here once more. That's just a given. We have a camp in the middle that is pushing. We have everybody else down at the bottom of the map. Tranquility already had to be used to keep them alive here. But now Madara is jumping into. Web Weavers are still there. Hogga at the top. Fort in the mid lane doesn't stand a chance. Nobody's even trying to save it. And down here, they go for the mind control. But this time Jojo made it happen. Got out, but has to even use her ult to survive, since Diablo was about to crush her with the rest of the team straight into the wall. The fort gets destroyed, but so does Mephisto. Mephisto down, arrow from Hanzo. They want more than only this kill. Hogga is still fighting it out at the top, and Cattle close to sacrificing himself here for the rest of the team. Trying to turn it even, but maybe a little bit too aggressive here. So Diablo is dead and loses his souls. As long as they're keeping Cure and also Malfurion alive, they should still be Gucci. 47 stacks. Oh, he cannot die. He cannot die. Nintori is low, but he makes it out of the fight. All of the forts are destroyed, but this is a turn-in opportunity for Diamond Hands. This is the moment where they can start to come in here and say like, alright boys, let's just get the turn-in. Let's make this one work. Shouldn't really be a big problem for them. Well, then again, it's yeah, there it is. They only needed the Haka. They were creating space for the Haka. It's the only thing that they needed. It was a 5 versus 5 after all. Another mind control misses, but the cooldown is low, obviously. So here's the moment where Diamond Hands can try and bring this back a little bit. And let's see if they can make it work. 4 kills to 2. We got level 14 now on both sides, and therefore no talent advantage. So this is the best shot that Diamond Hands has to slowly make their way back into the game. They need to take some forts down too. You cannot consistently fight with your opponent still having fountains in the middle, whereas you have nothing around the turn-in points to sustain yourself through those team fights. In an ideal world, you of course want to have a double turn-in. But can they really make that work? Yes or no? That's the big one right now. We got, at this point, 27,000 damage from Mephisto. Hanzo's at 44,000, by the way. I mean, big numbers from him. Now, up towards the top. The arrow already out. Cure is dodging away, so no kill from Hanzo. Couldn't set anything up here. And thanks to Diablo claiming the position and using the lightning breath, they take another web weaver down. That means that all the web weavers are already defeated and they didn't get anything out of this. They still have 74 gems, but Caesar Salad is eaten alive. And that's some of the gems lost, not enough to make a huge dent into the numbers for Diamond Hands, but they're not stopping there. They're going for kill number 2, and yeah, boy goes down to... The gems are recovered at least, but that's now level 16 in their hands, and with 41 gems, Nintori is way too far out here. Way too far out. First of all, Mokka is in trouble, and if Nintori dies, if this is a 5-man wipe, the mind control hits, and that's a nightmare. That's their ticket into the game. Destroyed, burned to a crisp. Down he goes. All the gems lost. They just lost 70 gems. 70 fucking gems, and they're gonna lose a keep too. The keep is gonna be lost as well. Level 16 in the hands of 30k, and they are crushing right now. Only Jojo back. Big damage topside. They might even have to retreat here. Nah, I don't really think so. They're gonna play this one out. The keep is gone. Now they can fall back. They have 56 gems themselves, which means that they're very close to another turn-in. Boss is up too. Yeah, Dehaka going into this fight, that was just a death sentence. Honorable Sudoku right there, sat down in the middle of the battlefield, solving a math puzzle, and it went exactly the way you would expect. So now they don't have level 16, but they're still looking for the kill. Cattle is more than happy to take up the challenge, and they are trying to force that fight with a talent lead. 30k, they turned in a few of their gems. They are soon gonna have enough for another turn-in. Boss is up on the map. The first keep is destroyed. All of the forts are gone. And that's a problem. That's a massive problem. I mean, Liam himself has 21 gems that he's now going to deliver. They're not going to stop that, which means they're only 7 short from another turn-in. And Diablo is more than happy to deliver those. So Dehaka went for the boss. The problem is that they know now what's going on. So this is a bit of a YOLO moment, and do they see this through? It seems like they're trying to. Jojo is stopping them as best she can. But by the way, look at this. Catapult's already nibbling at the bottom keep. Then we're going to get the Siege Giants. They might get the boss here, but they're also losing a ton of ground at this point. So the boss is indeed taken. But Hogga is still at the bottom of the map, and they don't give a shit. Because they can now still try and take that bottom keep. They're even chasing up at the top. Nobody is dealing with Hogga. Nobody is dealing with that bot lane Siege Giant camp. And now they're even about to lose a 4 versus 5. I mean, are you kidding me? Maybe now an opportunity, but Malfurion is still alive, and they're still getting crushed. And Dehaka is just using his PhD in PvE to get that bottom keep. They lose the fight. 2 heroes at the top lane are down. Guys, it's a 4 versus 5, and they 4 versus 5, and they're losing it. They're losing the 4v5, they're losing the bottom keep, and they're getting absolutely murdered. 30k is going through Diamond Hands like hot butter through cheese, as they are about to lock in a 3-1 victory in this best of 5. Match point number 1 is a success. It is the blue team that moves on to the grand final of qualifier number 1 for North America for the Heroes International. Nicely done. GG, well played. With level 20 in their hands and 12 kills, 2-2, 30k takes the series and moves on to the grand final.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.